Close your eyes and let's take a step back in time. The year is 2008. Try to recall where you were and what you're doing on Wednesday, August 28th, 2008. Now, you're probably wondering why I picked such a specific date. Just to be clear, it's not my kid's birthday, nor is it my wedding anniversary. I was at the world-renowned birthday stadium in Beijing, China, preparing for the most pivotal moment in my athletic career. On that day, I was getting ready to race against the great Usain Bolt, the world's fastest man, in an Olympic 200-meter dash final.
How did a 5'6" kid from Zimbabwe end up on a grand stage like this? How was I going to react in my David versus Goliath moment?
It's in these defining moments that we have to find the courage to face our Goliath. How you and I react will separate us from the herd. After spending 2 years at Truman State University, I then decided to jump to the big boys and I transferred to Florida State University, where I was met with high expectations and an immense amount of pressure. I struggled a great deal in my junior year, and I started listening to the whispers about how I wasn't deserving of my full scholarship. The pressure started to get to me. Going into my senior year, I made a decision. I was going to enjoy every race like it was my last. I was going to savor every moment with my teammates because I knew that this was all coming to an end. I decided to have fun. Due to that shift in mindset in my senior year, where every race was fun, I ran extremely well. In my very first race of the outdoor season, I ran the fastest time I'd run in 4 years. Not only was this a personal best, it was an Olympic A qualifying time. I had arrived, and I was having fun. What happens when we stop having fun? The pressure starts to kick in. We start worrying about those things which we can't control. How many of us walk through life with or without a plan? I'm not talking about a fully fledged plan, maybe even just a simple half-baked plan. In 2004, I arrived at the Athens Olympic Games as the 7th fastest man in the world in the 200-meter dash. I'm expected to make the final and compete for a podium position. But guess what? Life happens. I enter my second round race as one of the favorites to make it out of that round, and I didn't make it out of the second round. It was a huge disappointment. The very next day, I showed up to the Olympic Stadium to watch that final. I wanted to be there in person to feel what it was like to compete in the final, even though I was sitting up in the nosebleeds. As the race ended, I watched as the top 3 finalists jog around the track and shake hands with people. And I knew that I belonged, and that was a moment that I should have been a part of. I felt a fire raging inside of me because I knew that if I had a plan, if I made a 4-year plan over 1,460 days, I would have a legitimate shot to make that next Olympic final.
On August 28, 2008, I, Brian Dzingai, the 5'6" kid from Zimbabwe, competed in a historic, world record-breaking Olympic final against the great Usain Bolt and came 4th place.
I made a commitment to take small, consistent actions compounded over 1,460 days to help me achieve that dream. I have developed a 5-step plan that I use to become an Olympic finalist, and it's something that I still use today in my daily life. It's a framework that you can take too to help you find that edge as you try to move towards achieving your own personal goals.